Hi, thank you for supporting my first video. This week, I'm back with a new topic. You all probably heard of the Titanic disaster. If you haven't, the RMS Titanic was the biggest ship of its time, and it was thought to be unsinkable until its first maiden voyage from Southampton, United Kingdom to New York. It sank due to hitting an iceberg. Today, I will be telling you 10 strange facts about the Titanic. Let's get started. Number 1. Why did the Titanic sink if it was unsinkable? The Titanic had 16 watertight compartments, and the ship could stay afloat with up to 4 of these compartments flooded. But when the Titanic hit the iceberg, a few compartments got damaged and couldn't hold that much water. This caused more compartments to get flooded, thereby causing the ship to sink. Number 2. The lookout didn't have binoculars. The story of how the RMS Titanic crew had no binoculars relates to the name of David Blair, a British merchant seaman with the White Star Line shipping company who built the Titanic. There are many versions to the story. One version is White Star Line had the person in charge, Blair, resigned from his post at the RMS Titanic just days before its maiden voyage. Blair departed the Titanic in a hurry, and supposedly by accident he kept a key to a storage locker believed to contain the binoculars intended for the crow's nest lookout with himself. The crow's nest is the best spot on the ship where crew members can notice potential danger, see other ships, or spot land. Unfortunately, this essential gadget was missing. Another version says the locker was open and there was no binocular in it. Number 3. Captain Smith canceled lifeboat drill. At first, a lifeboat drill was scheduled to take place on board the Titanic on the very day that the ship hit the iceberg. But for an unknown reason, Captain Smith canceled the drill. Many people believe if the drill had taken place, more lives could have been saved. Number 4. Third-class passengers had the hardest hit from the disaster. Titanic's third class consisted of just over 700 people, and most of them were immigrants from other countries who were traveling to America to start new lives. Larger families were housed in cabins with multiple cots that could sleep as many as 6 people. Many third-class passengers did not speak English and tended to stick close to their families during the trip. When Titanic first struck the iceberg on the night of April 14th, most third-class passengers initially had no idea what happened. They may have felt a great shudder as the iceberg tore open holes in the ship under the waterline where third class was housed. Unfortunately, they had little time to escape as frigid water began to flood steerage cabins less than half an hour after the ship struck the iceberg. Number 5. Titanic's fourth funnel isn't real. In what is now an iconic image, the side view of the Titanic clearly shows 4 cream and black funnels. While 3 of them released steam from the boilers, the 4th one was just for show. White Star Line didn't think the Titanic looked good with only 3 funnels, so they added 1 extra funnel that wasn't used. It was added just to make it look better. Number 6. Captain Smith ignored ice warnings. Ice is a seasonal hazard in the unforgiving winter seas of the North Atlantic, and in a couple of days since leaving Southampton, many ships have reported ice in the exact area into which Titanic would be sailing. On the 11th of April, Titanic received 6 warnings from the ships about dangerous ice. 5 more on the 12th, 3 more on the 13th, and 7 on the 14th. Jack Phillips, who was the radio operator of the Titanic, got the urgent messages, but delivered them to Captain Smith as non-urgent. Number 7. Lifeboats were not full. Not only were there not enough lifeboats to save all 2,200 people on board, most of the lifeboats that were launched were not filled to capacity. If they had been, 1,178 people might have been rescued, far more than the 705 who did survive. For instance, the first lifeboat to launch, Lifeboat 7 from the starboard side, only killed 24 people despite having a capacity of 65. Number 8. There are more than one movie about Titanic. So many of us know about the 1997 movie Titanic, starring Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet. It was not the first movie made about the disaster. At least 11 have been made, depending how you define Titanic movie. The very first movie made about the Titanic disaster was released in May 1912, a month after the disaster. It was a silent movie called Saved from Titanic, and it starred Dorothy Gibson, an actress who was one of the survivors. In 1958, A Night to Remember was released that recounted in great detail of the ship's fatal night. Both engineers and musicians died heroically to help the best they could. The Titanic's lights went out when she finally went under due to the tireless efforts of the ship's engineers who stayed behind to keep the electricity and pumps running while the ship sank. They also kept the radio running, which put out distress signals until minutes before the ship sank. Not one of the 25 engineers survived. Similarly, the musicians of the RMS Titanic all perished with the ship when it sank in 1912. They played music, intending to calm the passengers for as long as they possibly could, and they all went down with the ship. All were recognized for their heroism. Number 10. You could visit where Titanic was actually built. Titanic was built in Belfast, Ireland, in the Harland and Wolff shipyard by the White Star Line Company. It was owned by J.P. Morgan, an American tycoon. The Harland and Wolff shipyard is now a big tourist attraction. Thank you for watching my video. Please like and subscribe, and bye!